Do you want me to do my clap thing?
Go.
We good?
This is the Luca Health Podcast, the show that goes beyond sport to understand the people behind the performances. Hello. Welcome back to the pod. I'm delighted to welcome Ella Lovibond, a semi-professional rugby player at Bristol Bears and Sport and Student Development Officer at the University of Bristol Students' Union on today. Ella graduated from Bristol Uni last summer with a first-class degree in engineering design and juggled her studies with playing at Bears, where she's amassed over 60 caps. Ella's gained international honours with England Sevens and was in the wider GB Sevens training squad ahead of the Paris Olympics last year. Very excited to jump into Ella's journey to discuss all things women's sport, player welfare, and the realities of semi-pro athlete life. Ella, it's great to have you on. Thank you for making the effort to join us from Bristol. How are things going?
Yeah, good. Thank you for that introduction. It's very nice. Yeah, good. Happy to be here. All things concussion.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to have you. And it is a very warm Friday afternoon in Mission Works. It is, Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some, but hopefully not for us. Did you? Well, yeah. Well, let's see. Lucky for some. Cool. So before we get into everything and learn about you and your journey and ending up at Bears and sort of what your future aspirations are within rugby and beyond, we always like to start with a quick fire round just to get to know you a little bit, if that's all right.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. 5 or 6 questions. So favourite sport other than rugby?
I'd say lacrosse.
Perfect.
Do you want me to
Well, no, I'm really guilty for jumping into these and making them very long-winded. So I'm going to try not to now. A childhood hero.
Jessica Ennis-Hill.
Great. Ice bath or fitness session?
Oh, God. Probably an ice bath, to be honest.
Bath or Leicester Tigers in the Premiership final tomorrow? To win. Not who you want to win.
I'm going to say Bath.
I think I want Bath as well.
I think the comeback.
All right.
Yeah.
Highlight of your career to date?
Got to be playing in Twickenham in an England shirt. That's pretty...
Yeah, it's pretty up there, isn't it? And the toughest thing about playing pro sport?
Say all the hard work that goes in behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realise, I think maybe.
Totally. That resonates with me entirely. It's hard on these quick fire rounds. You kind of just want to opine on everything that you respond with. Jessica Ennis-Hill, super cool. Remember watching Super Saturday in 2012. But there we are. Awesome. Well, I think we're sat here today thanks to your dad, Charles.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn for my sins, as I'm sure a lot of startup founders, in fact, anyone that's working pretty much in anything does these days. And he wrote a cool post. I actually think it was about one of his friends that had died, and he was doing a bit of an obituary on LinkedIn, which was a bit of a reflective piece, which I thought was really, really good. And him talking about he wasn't giving back by working in education. Actually, he derived a lot of meaning and value from that, et cetera, et cetera. And he kindly reached out to me off the back of that and said, obviously looked at what we're doing at Luca with concussion management in schools and mentioned, you and how concussion was on his radar as well and suggested that we chat. And that was several weeks ago. And now we're sat here today, which is very cool. About to jump into all things, women's rugby, Premiership women's rugby, international, the realities of being a woman in a semi-professional, professional environment. Very, very excited about that. But was it always on the cards that you were going to end up, playing semi-professionally while you were studying? Is it a surprise that you are where you are today?
Well, I didn't know I was going to be choosing rugby. To be honest, I didn't choose rugby until I came to university. Did lots of sports when I was growing up. But I always had high goals and always wanted to play to a high level. I didn't really realise when I was younger that being professional or semi-professional would be an option because there just wasn't those role models, or it wasn't, spoken about or in the media when I was younger. Didn't know it was an option, but kind of coming to uni and working my way up, it's been pretty cool.
And you're being pretty modest because I've done my homework and you played a lot of sport as a youngster, as you say, not just rugby. Lacrosse was, is your favourite sport other than rugby. You played that at a super high level, right? As well as athletics. So you could have potentially gone down any one of those routes, but it was just an opportunity thing.
Yeah, so rugby, I didn't do any rugby at school at all.
Okay.
So
where were you at school?
In Abingdon. And that was completely outside of school. But the main sport at school was lacrosse. That's why I played that. And then athletics, again, was outside of school. I enjoyed athletics, but because it was so individual that I got a bit bored, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoy being in a team environment. And yeah, I didn't love it as much as lacrosse and rugby. And then, yeah, I was doing lacrosse and rugby at the same level at school, both England under 18s. So
Oh, wow. Super busy.
half time would literally be Monday to Thursday, England rugby, Friday to Sunday, England lacrosse camp.
Wow.
Back to school again. So it was a pretty busy schedule. And yeah, I didn't know which one I was going to choose, to be honest.
Yeah.
Until lockdown, actually. That was my final year of school.
Yeah.
In whatever March it was.
March 2020.
Yeah. And then kind of rugby kept doing some stuff online. I was in Wasp's C of E, which is like the under 18 academy at the time.
RIP.
Yes. and yeah, they kept doing loads of really cool stuff. And I think that kind of just drew me to rugby more than lacrosse. There was a lot more opportunity. Lacrosse is completely self-funded.
Is it? Yeah.
My twin sister actually still plays lacrosse for England.
Oh, wow.
We both did it together.
Very cool.
And she's still doing it. So I can kind of see what path I could have taken.
Yeah.
If I carried on. But yeah, there's just so much more opportunity in rugby at the moment. Even though it's not fully professional, it's definitely better than...
Was there much tension? Like you're playing England 18s, rugby and lacrosse between the two sports. Did they want dibs on you, or is it just...
To be honest, lacrosse loved that I did rugby as well.
Did they?
They loved the kind of physicality.
Yeah.
Rugby didn't like that I played lacrosse so much. They said it took away from rugby. I wasn't as committed enough. So yeah, there was a little bit of conflict.
I think it's just, I actually don't know for girls whether it's a bit, well, lacrosse is massive, isn't it? For girls, boys don't really play it, but they do in America. But presumably lacrosse being the quote unquote smaller sport, or at least in my eyes as a male, you know, perhaps they think that puts them on the map a little bit if they've got an England 18s rugby player involved as well. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, lacrosse is coming up in the Olympics in LA 28.
Is it? That makes sense with America.
Yeah. So it's definitely growing.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, there's a contrast there between the two, definitely.
Okay, but it's entirely amateur in this country with no plans to go semi-pro or professional. Yeah.
Not at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so, CV stuff with Wasps, and then you went off to Bristol, I understand, straight from school?
Yes.
Yeah. Not with the intention of ending up at the Bears, just that was the university you wanted to go to.
To be honest, I chose it for the city and the degree first. Yeah. But I always had in the back of my mind kind of what club to join if I went.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to go for the course specifically, and I just really wanted to go to Bristol. I had this feeling.
Yeah, did you? Intuition. No, strong.
No, it is weird. And then, once I joined, my coaches from Wasps and uni were trying to put me in touch with the Bristol Bears to get in for pre-season and stuff. But because it was COVID, it was quite a weird time with like circles and not allowing people in. And the Bears coach at the time basically said no freshers because of COVID. Just thought that we were going to...
Wait, because you'd be going out the whole time.
Yeah, that's what...
Well, not going out, but, you know...
Catch COVID.
Illegal parties.
So basically I wasn't allowed to join, and then that coach left around New Year's, and then the next week I was in for my trial with the new coach. So, yeah, then I joined like January first year. Been there ever since.
Cool. And just on Bristol itself, you had a great time in the city, at the university.
I love it. That's why I'm still there.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, I finished my degree and thought of ways that I could stay in Bristol. That's how I ended up with my job.
Yeah.
Keep playing for Bears. So yeah, I don't really see myself moving back home at the moment. I really like it in Bristol.
I mean, yeah, it's an amazing city. Got some cousins that live there, and it's just beautiful. I think it's sort of ranked, very high up, isn't it, on most livable cities, particularly for youngsters, I think. I think it's the number one place to live if you're under 26. I don't know what the parameters there are, or like how they're benchmarking that. I'm sure it's on like affordability, access to green space.
It's not
a vibe.
Cheaper than London.
Right, because it's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lovely city.
Whereabouts do you live?
Clifton.
You live in Clifton itself? Okay, lovely. Yeah, you can't really beat that. Cool. Okay, so you were a sports scholar at Bristol Uni, but COVID put pay to playing much for the university. You kind of just, the professional game didn't really take a break, so you ended up playing for the Bears before you played for uni, and then Bears were like, nah.
Yeah.
Is that how it worked out?
When I first joined, obviously couldn't get into Bears first term.
Yeah.
So I was training with uni, but there was no bucks or any matches because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then once I joined Bears, it was all about social circles. I couldn't train for uni as well as Bears. So yeah, there was basically not many matches in first year at all. If there was, I probably would have played.
Yeah.
And then after that, in second year, I started playing for Bears most weekends. So then adding uni training on top of that would be too much.
Yeah.
More from a load perspective. I actually played for uni end of first year doing sevens and injured my ankle. And Bears coach weren't very happy with that.
I was going to say, you're just giving them ammunition, aren't they? They already don't want you to be doing that.
Yeah, a bit of an injury risk as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've played for uni maybe 5 times. So not many at all.
So you're the most expensive sports scholar the university's ever had. You're like the Donny van der Beek of, yeah.
Well, because I didn't play, I did some coaching with the squad instead.
Fine.
Bit of sevens, or when we were in between coaches, I'd help out.
You made your impact.
Yeah, kind of be in the club in a different format.
Amazing. And so talk about sort of your juggling the degree with playing at Bears. In fact, before we do that, you're a fullback?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about your rugby for a second.
Well, when I joined university, I was a fly half.
Okay.
That's where I played at under 18s.
Yeah.
I think I'm more of a centre, but at age grade, if I was centre, the ball wouldn't get out to me because we didn't have a good enough fly half. It happened to a lot of girls, when with different levels of ability in your clubs, a lot of them ended up playing 10.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, moved out to the centres mainly, and then played 15 for Bears. And I still play a bit of centre now. I think I've covered 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 last few years. So,
but that's good. That's good for you. I actually think that's really good from a development standpoint. Playing at 10, even if you're not necessarily a natural 10, you have to improve your skills. You have to be super comfortable, catch, pass, all the basic stuff that I was a 13, and I don't think my skills were as good as they should have been, because they didn't have to be, to a point.
Yeah.
But then you play at a high enough level, and they have to be. You know what I mean? It's all that space disappears and stuff, and then you actually got to be a distributor, even if you're a quick guy or girl.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why I prefer playing in the centres or fullback rather than on the wing.
Yeah.
Have the skills for distribution as well. Lots of.
So there's more touch points in the game as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you started at Bristol Bears in January of your first year. And then what does that look like? Because I know, in fact, let's just talk about sort of the state of the women's game, which is semi-professional.
Yeah.
England players are full-timers.
So
let's just understand that dynamic a little bit. So I'm not sure everyone understands that.
At the moment, you get contracted by your country. It's actually contracted. So English, Welsh, Scottish players are all contracted by the country, and then they'll have a Premiership club as well where they might get a bit of money, but not enough to live on its own. We have a lot of internationals in our club at Bears, and then there's a lot of students, and then everyone else working full time alongside it. We've got a few doctors, some teachers, there's a range of jobs really. So that's what it's like. So the full time girls come in. We train the main training sessions in the evening after work.
Yeah.
But the internationals will come in during the day, have some extra session with girls, basically get a lot of rest in between sessions.
Yes.
When we come straight in after work, it's back to back to back, not much rest at all. So it's a lot more intense.
And you're training 3 days a week?
Yes.
At Bears? Okay. And that's quite hard after a full day's work. Or a full day. You weren't doing a Mickey Mouse degree either. You're doing engineering design, which is presumably a lot of contact hours.
Yeah. I was essentially at uni 9 to 5, training 5 to 9, and that's basically what I still do now. It definitely wasn't a relaxed schedule. With the engineering, I think I maybe went into it thinking I'd like engineering more.
Okay.
I think I realised throughout that I enjoyed rugby more. and wanted to kind of pursue that a little bit more. So yeah, I definitely didn't breathe through the degree at all. Quite a few failed exams. I mean, yeah, injuries, concussions definitely don't help.
Yeah.
But the main thing was that I finished it in the end. And
totally.
yeah.
I mean, it's impressive. Yeah, I mean, you finished it and you got a first. We'll get onto that a little bit later. But congratulations, by the way. I mean, it was like a year ago now, right? But,
yes.
But it's still no mean feat doing that alongside semi-professional rugby. So does that create a bit of a disconnect between the girls that are, you know, that are full-timers because they're in the England setup and can afford to just play rugby with everyone else? Is there a little bit of the haves and the have-nots? Is it hard to then break in if you're not contracted?
Yeah, as much as you try not to, there's always going to be a bit of a divide from the girls that are in during the day and the ones who come straight after work in the evenings. And we try and have that team cohesion, like we get together again. But there's naturally always going to be a divide, and it's almost like they're professional and they'll keep being professional, where it's quite hard to break into it if you're not in it already.
And how many of you like semi-pros are playing regularly week in, week out at Bears?
Quite a lot of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The kind of the main like team 23, like we probably have like 15, 16 internationals, but at least like 10 regular.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so it can happen. And then you're on the pathway, right? It's not like it's impossible to break into the first team, as you've already shown, because you've got 60, 70 caps at this point. So then in terms of like Premiership women's rugby, like in general, for those that don't know it, it's obviously the female equivalent of the Premiership. I think there's 9 teams rather than 10. It's pretty much the same teams, right? I think. Yeah. Did Bath not have a team?
No, Bath.
Newcastle. Yeah. Oh, are they?
So, yeah, we don't have that many teams from the north. We used to have DMP.
Okay.
They were the northern team, but now Sale's the most northern team. And then we did have Worcester, but then...
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Are they coming back with the men?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried to, because the women's programme was a bit, obviously less expensive to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figured out. So that we were meant to have 10 teams. Yeah. But, just down to 9.
Okay. And Bristol, like pretty successful, right, within the league?
So last 4 years we've been in the semi-finals. Last season we reached the final.
Yeah.
So yeah, since Dave came in, we were 8th before that, and then now we've been top 4 each season after he's been here.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
And this is Dave Ward, who was head coach until end of this season.
Yeah.
Who I know from a very long time ago, playing together at the Saints. We were both outcasts on pitch too, because I was a youngster and he was unpopular basically with the coaches because he's outspoken, but then had a really, really successful career at Harlequins, didn't he? A hooker. And now he's coaching, which doesn't surprise me because he's got a very good rugby brain on him.
He loves rugby.
Loves rugby, yeah. Okay.
Every second is just watching any other game.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably quite a good trait for a coach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And in terms of the women's game, like it's on a journey to being fully professional. I think, did I hear in the next 9 or 10 years?
There's been like a 10-year plan.
Okay.
Like
since when?
Finished the first year.
Okay, fine.
It got rebranded to the PWR.
Yeah.
Premiership Women's.
Was that ahead of this season?
Premier 15s before that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a 10-year plan to make it professional. And there's a lot of input, like buy-in from clubs and stuff into that. So yeah, maybe I'll be professional by the end of my career.
Yeah, I mean, that's presumably the ambition, is it?
Yeah.
Sounds like...
Yeah, I really want to be professional, and people at work maybe don't like me saying this, but the job's just kind of helping me support that journey. The rugby is my priority.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're happy to support that now.
And how far off that sort of ambition are you? Because obviously you have to wait for, the sport to turn fully pro and you to be paid a proper wage and all that kind of stuff, or you break into the England setup. So
I've been in England under 20s, 7s. I think my name's in conversations, but I haven't been into any Red Roses camps yet.
Okay.
Obviously it's a big year with the World Cup this summer.
This August, right?
Yeah, this August, 22nd August.
It is. Sunderland, Stadium of Light. I was looking at the fixtures earlier. I think they've done a really good job, actually, of... Obviously, this is a massive opportunity to grow the game, isn't it? And I think the England group games are up in Sunderland. forget where the middle one is. Maybe Franklin's Gardens. They've got quite a few games, and then the last group game I think is in Brighton. So it's spread out, isn't it? And
yeah, really spread out across the country. And Bristol's got some games as well.
I saw that.
2 of the quarterfinals and both semi-finals at Ashton Gate.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah,
Buy tickets for it.
Oh, do you? Yeah. And so this World Cup's a bit early. You'd probably already
Love to.
Yeah, but it's not looking like it.
I don't think so. But I don't know if there's going to be a lot of change after the World Cup finishes. Maybe people retiring.
Fine.
Moving clubs. So I think this season's quite exciting post-World Cup as well.
Amazing. A lot of opportunity. How long do those contracts last? Are they just annual for the players that receive a Red Roses? Yeah. Okay. Cool. And in terms of like the league itself, I don't know, are you sort of bullish on where it's going and the ambitions to be professional? Because I think a lot of people hear about Premiership women's rugby and they see that there's no disconnect between like the kits that you guys are wearing. Like you're playing at Ashton Gate sometimes. I know Shaftesbury Park's your other ground. No, but it sort of mimics the men's game, although it shouldn't. It's its own beast, right? But and then of course we've had like Iona Mar come over, and like that's presumably done like really good things for the growth and for just putting eyeballs on it. But just from your 4 years of being in that setup and playing matches and seeing the crowd swell, does it feel like momentum is really building and you can see a future? Yeah,
definitely. I think since I first started in the Prem, like crowds have just grown every year. And I think what's special is that it's different to men's rugby in its own way. I think we're taking the learnings from men's.
Yeah.
But also I think at games, the environment, the crowd there are just so much more friendly. It's less like, oh, I'm going to go watch the rugby and get drunk. It's more like, I'm going to go watch the game and like support the women there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of real family feel.
Yeah.
A lot more welcoming, and we engage with the crowd as well. And we engage our fans differently to the men do as well. I know we've had some hate, like there's been hate on how much TikToks we do or whatever, but it's its own game. And Alona coming as well was definitely massive. She's done great things for the women's game as well, and then coming into the PWR was really cool. And to Bears, got to be friends with her. Still am, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she.
Any TikToks together?
Yeah, I think I was in one.
Yeah.
I was on her Instagram at some point. She actually helped me with my election campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Putting those social media skills to good use.
Yeah, literally.
Cool.
And that was really useful. But yeah, Alona's done great things. Basically the first game she played at was a record.
I heard that.
A record crowd for like a standalone domestic game, I think it was.
How many people?
That was at Ashton Gate. I think that was 9,000.
Yeah.
And something. So yeah.
But how does that compare to like a normal? What's the average attendance?
Average 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a record. And then basically every game we played after that, if it was an away game, it would be their record as well.
Really?
To watch us and watch Alona as well, which is just so exciting. And even when she wasn't playing, like people would come and watch, which is really cool. And she always said like, if it's her that brings people through the door, that's great. But she wants people to stay for the team, and for the sport, which I think is really cool.
Can we just talk about her a little bit more for a second? Because like, where's this come from? I mean, well, she's got 5 million Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And I don't know a male player that's anywhere near that. Like Sia Khaleesi, I think he's got like 1.5, and he's probably, maybe there's one other person like with more, I don't know.
She's the most followed rugby player.
But like by a country mile, she's got like 3x him.
And
like,
because she's doing it differently. Like she's using social media for body positivity.
Yeah.
And really like speaking to a lot of women and girls, not even just in rugby, just in sport and in life, which I think is so powerful. And she really harnessed the kind of attention from the Olympics.
Yeah.
It kind of started back in Tokyo, and then she really took off in Paris.
Okay.
I remember I was there watching.
So she was playing sevens.
She was
okay, yeah.
For USA, they got a bronze medal.
Yeah.
I remember watching it, and every day I was checking her followers, and it would just be
really
up by like 1 million in a day.
That's mental. Okay.
It was crazy. And then little did I know that she would then join our club and we'd be friends after that. So
pinch me moment, right?
Really cool.
it's weird how you forget that these people are actually like real people. Like I do quite a lot of running just in my spare time, like marathon running these days. And my housemate told me about this funny like new influencer that was on the scene, a guy called Hugo Fry. Shout out Hugo. He's got like 8,000 followers or something, but he's like growing quite quickly. He's a very funny bloke, very awkward. And he works for DAZN, which is like a sports media company down in Hammersmith.
Okay.
And I was walking to get lunch yesterday and just bumped into him and I was like, hey Hugo, love the content. He has no idea who I am. But it was one of those moments where it was like, I'm used to watching your funny Instagram reels or whatever, and then you're there in real life. So yeah, I imagine it was like somewhat similar with.
I had a moment like that this week at work. I was giving a presentation to this like careers event about sport and the skills you get from it. And I spoke a bit about Bears. And afterwards, one of the staff members came up and asked for my signature.
Wow.
Which is so funny because it happens at games and stuff, like when I'm wearing Bears.
Right.
It's never happened at work before. So that was pretty cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, my colleagues were joking like, has anyone asked you for your signature yet? And I said no, and then literally 2 minutes later that happened.
That's so cool. Is your signature good?
Well, I just started doing it and I didn't think about it. And it changes every time, so I just write it so quickly. It's quite messy, but maybe I should develop it like a good one.
You should. I'm so lame. Like, I was in the Saints Academy back in the day, straight after school, and kids ask you for your signature, don't they? Without knowing who you are, which I always found quite a cringy like experience. Or like, you know what it's like? They bring shirts out and balls that you have to sign. And I remember as an 18-year-old, like I don't have a signature. Like I had to like develop a signature and then think about it or whatever. But obviously I haven't signed too many signatures since that moment. But it is kind of a weird thing, isn't it? It's like, why does anyone want this scribble? But
some girls like sign my phone case. I'm like,
you're going to ruin the phone case. That's funny. And I heard on a podcast when I was doing my prep for this that I think it was about a year ago. So I'm sure there are many more shirts with Lovibond on the back now. But, you were saying that was a surreal experience when you saw a fan. Was it at Ashton Gate or was it at Shaftesbury Park?
Shaftesbury Park.
But still, like, that must be such a cool, like, geez, I'm having an impact here.
Yeah, that's a really special moment.
Yeah.
I think about that quite a lot.
I'm sure.
I think I remember meeting her after games. She's like, you're my favourite player, Ella. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I keep seeing her after games.
Do you?
And then, I was warming up one time at Shaftesbury Park. She was like, Ella, like turned around and like pointed at her back and it said Lovibond 15. And yeah, that was so special. I was like, wow, that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, she comes to loads of games. Yeah, shout out to her.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. And just going back to Ilona, like, were Bristol very strategic, do you think, in terms of, was, good player, bigger brand? I was looking at social media followings of the women's teams earlier, and Bristol Bears women's like 100,000. And that's comparable with like men's Premiership teams.
Yeah, I think every club in the country were trying to get her to come.
Were they?
She was having problems with her visa though, because she hadn't played for America 15s in 3 years. And
Fine.
So you have to do to play for the Prem.
Oh, really?
For your country, yeah. So not just anyone could come over. But I think Bears were willing to put in the work to kind of to sort out the visas, and that's why she chose us, I think. But yeah, it's obviously going to have an impact on the club. I think our followers went up by like 300% or something.
Yeah, crazy.
So many of her shirts were bought. Like, we've got fans from America now. Like, I remember going around talking to the fans after the game. There'd be so many groups of girls from America. Literally, they're like, yeah, we flew over this week just to watch you play. Like, we came to Bristol. And I just, it's crazy the reach that she has and that we as Bears now have as well.
Yeah, super cool. How are you thinking about that type of thing, around social media and around doing off-field stuff? You say that if you're not contracted, the reality is that you have a job, and we'll get into your job in a minute, but then you're combining a full-time job or like full-time studying as you were with playing. Like, obviously that's hard. You ideally would just be a player, right? And in the absence of England happening, you getting a central contract, there is an alternative to you doing a day job, which is for you to grow a social media following and to monetize that, or maybe just to do that as like pocket money on the side. Like I mentioned that because one of our team members here at Luca, he's part-time. he does 2.5 days a week playing GB hockey. And he's like, you know what? There's an opportunity to grow a big Instagram following, TikTok following, and help pay his way that way.
Yeah, there's definitely the opportunity there. I guess I'm not like that inclined to do it. I do some, and I get quite stressed out about it.
Yeah.
I don't even like posting on Instagram that much. So yeah, there's definitely a market. And then I've done like a few videos and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. If I really wanted to go for it, I probably could, and it'd be a good opportunity, but I'd like to do it more, but it just adds another thing on to
Totally.
just to think of.
Totally. And as you say, you care about the rugby, and if the vehicle to get you there is the job, then fine. But do you want the job, the social media and the rugby? I mean, people that do it make it look so easy, don't they? With the content stuff, like that's really not me either. Like I am not savvy when it comes to that stuff. So I don't blame you. Stick to the rugby. Fair. Okay. Awesome. And in terms of like where you are with your career, then like you're obviously, doing very well and amassing a lot of appearances. Dave Ward, who I reached out to ahead of this, said that it might have been a bit of a frustrating season, like just injury wise, like selection. I don't know. Where are you if you were to like stop, press pause, reflect on where you've come from that fresher joining Bears in like January 2021 to where you are today?
Yeah, I think as Dave said, this season's been a bit different from the last four before that, with like injury, my concussion symptoms coming back again, but also because we had so many people in the back three, and with Alona joining us, it only added to people there. So it was very competitive for spots, and I think maybe the previous years I'd not gotten used to, but kind of had played regularly when I was fit. So then to be not playing when I was fit was quite weird this season, but actually allowed me to kind of develop a different role within the team, have a bit of a different perspective for kind of outer members in the team as well. Yeah. Which was really interesting. It was tough.
As in more empathy for those people that are holding tackle bags during the week?
Yeah. When I... Yeah, it's definitely a different perspective in the team, and it just makes you value those people that keep turning up each week. Yeah. It's even more impressive, I would say. It's hard work. So that's been interesting this season. I think I'm really proud of how far I've come, and I still want to keep on pushing further, but it's been hard because this has been the first year that I've been working full time. Yeah, okay. As a student, where I could get away with kind of missing lectures when I wanted to, whereas I can't really just skip a day of work. So it's a bit stricter. It's definitely been different this year.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how do you sort of, when we were setting up, when we were like liaising to find a time for you to come up and do the podcast, you mentioned that you listened to our first ever episode with Finn Smith, and like one of the things that you took from that chat that I had with him was around like how he reflects and analyzes his game, like literally on a week by week basis. And he's a super impressive like young man. Wow. He very mature head on young shoulders, but like he would literally go through each game, each involvement, every sort of pass, kick, tackle, whatever, and sort of analyze what he did, make notes on it if need be, but then even go a layer deeper than that and think about how he's coming across with the group, both during the games, like how he's talking and communicating and what tone he's using and what personality he's bringing to the training week, to match weekends and that kind of thing. Anything that you've developed over time. I guess it'd be interesting for people listening, particularly if they're currently playing school sport but have aspirations to go a step further. Like, what are some of the tips and tricks or anything that you've gleaned in the last 4 years of being around some of these best in the game?
I really forgotten the word now. I value what Finn said about the analysis and stuff like that. And whenever but all of our trainings and matches are all filmed, multiple angles. I do as well, like to analyse the game, and we can send clips to coaches with comments and we can reply. And I like doing that, but to be honest, I find it hard to find the time to do that. I think a lot of the professional girls would do it in like the mornings and then go training in the afternoon, whereas I'm working flat out all day. I don't have time to maybe watch training back from them,
Yeah.
do all the clips from the game, because it takes a while to go through it all. And I'd love to be able to do it more. But yeah, that's, I guess, one of the realities of being a dual career. But I think one of the main things I've learned from having to balance things over the years is like to really be honest with your coaches and your lecturers and your tutors.
Yeah.
I think I didn't really do that as much in first year, but once I started talking to them both and like just telling them, explaining everything, like the expectations are there. I'd be like, oh, I'm struggling to meet this deadline, like got this big match, how can we help? My tutor was amazing, like he was really, really supportive, and I was lucky enough to have him. But yeah, the same goes with Dave. Like when I started my job, I said, look, I might be late to work if I have an event in the evening or late meeting.
Yeah.
So kind of just managing those expectations I found quite helpful. And then, yeah, trying to prioritise things when things clash as well, which I still struggle with. Totally.
Yeah, and it's a hard thing what you're doing, and then presumably like you want some sort of social life as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, why are you doing all of it? Like, you want to be happy as a person, not just be a worker and a rugby player.
Yeah, I've enjoyed having a bit more time in the off season.
Yeah.
And to do other stuff than rugby.
To be a youngster, basically. Yeah.
Travelling was nice. Yeah. Don't normally get this much time off rugby.
Okay.
But the season was all different because of the World Cup, so...
Oh, really? They brought it forward?
Yeah, it finished in March this year instead of June. Like,
yeah.
To allow rest after the Six Nations and then prep into pre-season before the World Cup, basically.
So everyone's just been on the beach, have they, for the last couple of months?
Not quite. I mean, Flash has been Six Nations.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I took the opportunity to go away for a bit.
On the rugby, like, I don't know, I guess each to their own a little bit. Some people need time away from sport and not to overthink it and not to overanalyze. You know, some people do better by just being spontaneous and intuition and like playing heads up, like quite literally. But you're like the other way. Do you think? I think there's always a balance.
I think like in the moment, I like to just play what I think.
Yeah.
And I think that might be like one of my strengths, just to kind of read the game. But then, yeah, I am one of the overthinkers, to be honest, which I'm trying not to do. But yeah, I do think, oh, if I'd just done this, or yeah. Anyway, so I try not to overthink, but it's really hard not to. So it helps to chat through things with the coaches and be like, is this the right path? Or like,
yeah.
Just go with what your gut's telling you.
So hard that though, isn't it? Because you want to be loose and free and all of that kind of stuff, but if that's not how you're wired, or you start to think like, yeah, but what if I tried a bit harder? Like, sport is so weird in that respect. It's almost like the harder you try, the more elusive it is.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the more stressed you'll be, and don't play as...
You're more rigid.
Yeah, we have a lot of structure at Bears as well in the way that we...
Do you? Yeah.
Which I enjoy being able to fall back on. I think fullback probably has like maybe one of the most freedom.
Well, yeah, because people are kicking to you, aren't they? And you can get involved when you want joint attacks.
Out on the edge. So yeah, I do enjoy that side of it.
Cool.
It's quite structured.
And Bears sort of next season onwards, like Dave's headed off. He's going to Ampthill as head coach. You mentioned before we jumped on that a new head coach, Scott Lawson from Scotland's been announced today.
Literally this morning.
Is there anything you want to say to Scott? Again, his good books. Hi, pick me. Fair. But like the squad, is there much turnover, or you're looking pretty strong ahead of next season as well?
We've lost a couple of players.
Yeah.
But yeah, not many people coming back in. So a lot of younger players, I think. So yeah, I think it'll be kind of with Scott coming in, hopefully some changes, freshen up how we're playing a little bit, which would be exciting.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, best of luck for next season and beyond. I want to get into the university stuff a little bit and what you're doing now. Obviously, 4-year degree, finished that last summer. Wanted to stay in Bristol because it's a lovely city. Big up Bristol. And now you're a sport and student development officer at the SU, right? So
like a funny title, but
it's a wordy title. What does that entail exactly?
So the position is like an elected position. I got voted in by the students.
Okay.
Which in itself, running a campaign.
Stressful.
Yeah, not very fun. Not in my comfort zone. But
what does that look like, by the way? Like, I don't know. Yeah, presumably it doesn't go on for weeks and weeks.
It's
or maybe it does.
Days.
Yeah.
People were like running around campuses, like posters everywhere.
Yeah.
Mine was like vote Lovibond for sport.
Yeah.
And yeah, you like messaging loads of people, all the group chats you're
Yeah.
to ask their friends.
Corralling people.
I set up like a little Instagram account. Probably the most I've ever posted on Instagram. Like
You really wanted it.
this account.
Yeah.
Do like fun little pics, like basically embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Get your name out there and get people to vote for you. And yeah, it was pretty close the first year. I only won by 9 votes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was.
Wait, how many votes were there?
Out of like
A few thousand? Yeah, wow.
9 votes. That
Was there a recount? I would have demanded a recount, like Florida 2000 US election or whatever. That sounds like it could be dodgy.
really close. But this year, I've enjoyed the job a lot and found it works fairly well with rugby.
Yeah.
As much as any full-time job can do, really. So I decided to go for it again. You can do it for up to 2 years.
Nice.
And then this year I won by about 3,000 votes. So
Oh, wow. So you obviously did a good job this year.
much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people knew my name from stuff I've been doing this year and the connections I've made with all the different sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, still doesn't make the campaigning any easier.
No, of course.
Kind of nice to know that people have got trust in me.
Yeah.
Vote me back in.
And so your role is effectively to support students playing any level of sport at the university?
It's not support. I basically represent students
Okay.
within a lot of conversations in the university.
Yeah.
So I sit in a lot of meetings with the vice chancellor, for example, the university executive board, a lot of people making big decisions.
Yeah.
And we basically, there's 7 of us in the team of officers and we represent students' views and stuff. So I kind of do it in terms of sport and yeah, kind of fight for things to like make it better for students and stuff. That's kind of half my job. And the other half is like, I work really close with all the club captains from all the different sport. Basically act as a middleman between them and the uni. And like, if they have any problems, they can come to me and I can help fix it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I also run like campaigns. I organise big events.
Yeah.
I think of it as a funny job. It's not your typical grad job. So it is quite fun.
Yeah. It's a bit more creative or like, I don't know. I'm sure it's really good experience. Your typical grad job is like, yeah, you're in your little silo and then someone delivers work to you or you do a little rotation to the next thing, but you're not really given much like real work, right? Is my sort of experience of grad schemes. Whereas like, it sounds like you're being exposed to like the vice chancellor of the university, for instance, like that's a pretty cool person, presumably, you know, pretty high powered role that. And if you're learning to persuade and influence and represent, like soft skills are the most valuable skills out there. So
I used to hate like public speaking before I started, but I've had to get used to it during this job.
Yeah.
I'm doing a speech at graduation in weeks. So
awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I've like learnt so much from this, but I can kind of take it the ways that I want to. So I like decide big event that we're doing. I wanted to project manage it and get experience of that, so I did.
Was this Derby Day?
Yes, Derby Day, kind of our version of varsity.
Okay.
Like a big multi-sport event, all in one day, like end of the winter season. And basically instead of having all the sports against one university, asked teams to choose their opposition from like local uni.
Okay.
There's a lot of Bath, Cardiff, Birmingham, Exeter.
Hence Derby Day.
Yes, local derbies.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that.
Why do people not get it?
Some people don't.
Yeah, fair.
But this is the second year it's ran.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big project I've done throughout the year, like organising all of that. So that was really cool, like on the day. And Bristol won against visitors. So
oh, really? Nice.
that was good.
And that was massive, I saw.
It was.
So what, like 25 sports or something?
Yeah, over 25 sports to like over 3,000 students.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty big. And like, I've never done an event like that and I led the whole thing, which is kind of crazy.
How many weeks or more months of prep Like how much?
See, from
Yeah.
so I started the job.
Yeah. It's like not an insignificant part of your job since you started until delivering it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you. That's super cool. I think it's cool having played uni sport. Uni sports clubs operate in silos, is my experience. There might be, a male or female sort of part of the club and they come together and they're one club. But I don't know, the rugby club is the rugby club, the hockey club is the hockey club. Yeah, there might be some mixed socials, but it sounds like you've got everyone together who's playing uni sport, at least for a day, which I think is a cool thing.
Kind of ran in my manifesto.
Yeah, okay.
For the job, I really wanted to have the cohesion between the different sports.
Yeah.
I just, love the atmosphere. Like when I was at the Olympics, I was like, wow, it's cool. Like, let's get Derby Day like this.
Yeah. What, just that vibe and that feel good factor and...
Yeah, I mean, I just love sport.
Yeah.
So it's not just rugby for me. Like I enjoyed loads of different sports on the day. So it's cool for like my colleagues who don't necessarily watch any sports matches to come to that day and be like, oh my God, like this is what you've been working on all year, Ella. Like it's actually quite cool.
You've actually been doing something.
Yeah, just because I'm the sports officer, like I just do random stuff, but it is the more fun position, I'd say. The other ones are a bit more serious.
Yeah. Very cool. So what are you going to do next year? You got a few months to figure it out. No, but you've like as a 2-year max limit. You're going to change the constitution like Trump and have a third term?
No, you can't do that.
Well, you can do whatever you want to do.
Well, I guess we'll see how rugby goes this season.
Yeah.
To be honest. Go from
fair.
And another job if I'm not getting a contract.
And university sport, if you were to generalise, like how is it? What's the state of university sport? Is it a stepping stone? Is like level good?
I think
across different sports, obviously, but
we've got a partnership now with Bears for rugby club at uni, which is really exciting. So that really is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
That partnership. I mean, obviously I'm part of it.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and we've got a lot more people coming in now that they've seen that partnership.
As in like better rugby players are coming to the uni because they know that there's going to be some exposure to the Bears through training or whatever. Coaches train the university, presumably. That's the way it works. Yeah,
it's really cool. We've got like a lot of pathway academies with hockey and stuff. It's obviously the performance element is there as well, but it's a lot of university sport is just social and being active, being physical. Just that social connection is a big thing. Really.
Totally. Yeah, I think participation is massive regardless of any like aspirations to do more with your sport. Very cool. And your other big initiative this year has been injury support group.
Yes, the injuries.
Which I think is awesome. You were telling me about this on a call when we didn't meet, but we chatted. And so that's for injured people, obviously, be it like competitive athletes playing for a university club or just people that are weekend warriors who like a bit of jogging who have got a bad knee.
So basically open to any student for free. Not performance athletes at all. It literally could be as you say, everyday runner. Open to anyone, regardless of your sport or level. And I was really like passionate about that, and I ran my manifesto on that. And at the beginning of the year, we're in the meetings with the vice chancellor and other leadership roles. I pitched the idea and basically secured 15 grand to set it up through that. So they backed me through that and set up in February, which is really cool. I think of it as my little baby, this project.
Yeah.
My kind of legacy piece when I leave the university, I like to think. I got inspiration for it from Bears actually. When I was injured, we had this little group called Bear With Us.
Nice.
A great name.
I like what they've done there.
I'm trying to think of a better name for the Bristol one. When I was going through my rehab and stuff, it was so important to have those people going through it with you and having that group where people you can rely on or do your hour-long bike sessions outside. So and I thought, within clubs, there's some clubs that have got like a little group of injured players, especially in rugby, injured players. But to be honest, I think it's more for the individual sports, the like lower levels where you don't have any kind of support like that. And I know so many people at university just, get depressed and have bad mental health of it. So
if you can't move particularly, because it makes such a difference.
So I really wanted to have this way we can support students that are going through similar things.
Yeah.
We can kind of rely on each other, check in with each other, kind of have that community where, yes, we're leading sessions, but actually they can run sessions themselves.
Yeah. They can just connect and
Connect, yeah. So yeah, we've been running for a couple months, and I've been in all the sessions, and I sit there like with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Conversations that we have, it's just so open and really, really nice. And we've had really positive feedback, and they've come back the next week and been like, oh, well, what we spoke about last week, I put it into my training this week, and it's been really beneficial.
Well, it's because it's a safe space, isn't it? You know, you've got other people in that room who know what it's like to have just done your ACL, and you're now looking at like 9 months on the sidelines, or maybe it's not that bad. Like maybe it's a bit of tendonitis, but you can't actually run, and you're used to running 3 or 4 times a week, and you know, and you don't want to moan to your mates because they don't get it, or like they're...
That's the thing. Like, there's only so much you can do to your flatmates.
Yeah.
They get a bit...
Yeah, totally.
Whereas, the conversations we had, like, everyone kind of understood what each other were going through, and that's why they were so fruitful, I think. And yeah.
Injury's very weird like that, isn't it? It's almost like people disregard it and think you're being soft or like you're moaning until you've actually been through it yourself. And so that bear with us. Did you say the name? Yeah, it's actually so good because I've been injured in a pro rugby environment like as well, and like people kind of just assume you're being soft, and hopefully it's better now than it was, but there is still a little bit of that, particularly if it's a long-term issue. So I think it's very positive that that's not only happening at Bears but also at the university level. So
it's something still trying to grow. So it was kind of only been running for a little bit now, but kind of going to keep developing it next year. That's kind of why I wanted to do it another year, so I could keep making it better.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. I think it's very cool, and that's spawned from your own sort of experience journey with injury, and you mentioned a couple of times like concussion stuff. So what has afflicted you? I want a full injury audit, please.
So injured my ankle end of first year.
Yeah.
Out for 3.5 months-ish.
Yeah.
And then about a year later, beginning of the next season, injured my knee.
What'd you do?
My PCL.
Okay, so that's the least of the...
Yeah.
You got away with it.
Luckily.
Hysteria.
It was so annoying because it was like the second game of the season. I literally scored a hat-trick in the first half. Second half, did my knee. So that was an interesting game.
Mixed emotions.
Luckily, didn't have to have surgery for either of those.
Yeah.
Knee was about 3.5 months as well.
God.
And then the season after that, I had back-to-back concussions.
So that was last season or season before?
Last season.
Yeah. Not this season. Last season. Yeah. Confusing when you're literally just finished the season. Yeah. So, okay. So 23-24, not 24-25. Yeah.
Got concussed in the match on my birthday, actually.
Oh God.
Which was quite rough. But I didn't get symptoms until quite a few days later, so like kept training, and then was like, oh, actually, I don't feel... I literally had to pull out the day before the game the next week. And then, I was out for a couple of weeks with that, maybe rushed back a little bit early, and then got concussed again, symptoms came back. Yeah. And then I was out for a kind of span of 3 months. It was over Christmas and New Year, which is when I was doing my final year exams and coursework as well, so January exams. Because I was still having to revise, I couldn't stay off screens, couldn't recover fully. Yeah. I was like obviously stressed about exams and just kind of delayed the recovery process. Didn't really do any rugby until exam did finish, and I'd actually had a chance to properly switch off. So I actually only failed one of those exams, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, well, your brain's not functioning.
Yeah, had extenuating circumstances. Obviously, told the university about the concussions, and they were really supportive. Really good. And then went back last season, and then this season just gone. The symptoms came back again after I got hit in the head with the ball.
Really?
It shouldn't be enough to give me a concussion. My mouthguard didn't
register. You've got smart mouth guards as well, yeah.
But it's obviously reignited it somehow. So again, I had to pull myself out, which I think is such a hard thing to do when you're battling for selection, and finally was getting selected, and then I had to pull myself out.
Because they've got no reason to
it wasn't.
Nothing's been triggered. There's no HIA happening. It's you just being like, I don't feel right here, which is so hard. Yeah.
So then out for a few weeks and kind of still struggling with symptoms now.
Are you?
Yeah. Probably got post-concussion syndrome, waiting to see a neurologist still. So, yes.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
What are you struggling with specifically? Just screen stuff still, or?
Yeah, so whenever I'm working on screens, specifically for work and like looking at phones, like all of my screens are permanently in like orange mode. I wear blue light glasses.
I've got mine here. Camaraderie.
The orange tin.
Can you? I actually think they're quite good. They're not too bad. I wear these every night. Not for concussion stuff, but just if I'm working late, I can't then just fall asleep. Or actually going to the whoop, my REM sleep is like hugely diminished if I'm on screens before going to bed. Like massively diminished. It has as much impact as alcohol does, for instance.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I wear mine before bed all the time.
Yeah.
Then, during work.
But you just wear them all.
Through phases, if I get used to it, then I don't have to look at it. But sometimes my eyes like really hurt, so I put them on. Always like low brightness. Whenever people look at my screen or my phone, I always have to turn it up. I'm like,
I have mine low. I wonder whether I'm just got permanent, persistent concussion syndrome. But I don't know.
Yeah, I've had like many eye tests. And
have you?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it doesn't come up on the test. It's just sensitivity.
Yeah. Well, I hope that resolves itself and seeing a neurologist helps. It's always scary, isn't it? Because I think with concussion, it's so tricky, isn't it? Like you get concussed, you take knocks to the head, and then the threshold for what you can then sustain in the future is just reduced, sadly, like as you've seen with a ball to the head, or like in my days it was sort of like you hit tackle bags, don't you, at the end of a warm-up before you go out, and like the amount of times I'm just seeing stars constantly every time I hit a tackle bag, which is just not a good sign. It's really not a good sign, but it was what it was. I heard a really interesting stat today actually, and one of our advisors at Luca sent it to me. She actually sent me an Instagram reel of this neurologist who was saying that post a concussion, you're 3 times as likely to have an ACL tear in the next 3 years.
Oh, I don't want to know that.
In the next 3 years. I know, like, sorry, but right. So but there's reason for that. It's not like the reason is that there is impairment. You had a brain injury, and it's all to do with stability. It's, what do they call it? Dynamic valgus or something, basically, and that's the medical term given to your knees sort of buckling in. You know how physios hate it when your knees go in because you're not tracking, and that's all because of like glute or like pelvic instability.
It's about like the Q angle of your hips.
Yeah. So basically, post concussion, and like this is where the S&C guys and the physios will catch up, or not catch up, but like we'll start to understand things and start to properly rehab post concussion. Like you need to do a lot of single leg stuff post a concussion, because you are just more vulnerable, which I thought was very interesting today.
Well, I'll get on the single leg in the gym.
Speak to your physio about it. Speak to your physio and S&C, because particularly with females, right, like more likely to have ACL problems, sadly.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
When I had done my knee, not my ACL, but there was a couple others in the bear with us that had done their ACL. They'd weirdly all done it on day 11 of their period.
Interesting.
So crazy, and like...
That's mental.
Yeah, there's phases in your cycle where you're likely to do it, which is because like your ligaments are more lax. But it also means that it could mean that you're less likely to, because they have to lax, they don't tear. So it can get...
Yes. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah. It really, like, the cycle, like your menstrual cycle really affects how your symptoms are for concussion as well.
Yeah.
But like when I'd be doing my baseline testing or like testing my symptoms every day, I'd have to think of like an average day for me rather than, a day when I had really bad symptoms from my period that actually similar symptoms to concussion.
Yeah.
That you have to kind of distinguish between.
Right.
Concussed.
Or is it just...
myopathy in it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to figure it out, and that just only adds to the stress of
totally
thinking about it all.
Just uncertainty, isn't it? It's really horrible. Within the professional environment or the semi-pro environment at Bears, are they starting to think about this? Like, where you are in your cycle and what you should or should not be doing, maybe, or not? Or is it...
We don't try and restrict based on the cycle, but we do symptom like wellness questionnaire every day.
Yeah.
Every training day. And
Yeah.
it's like, how tired are you? How
Yeah.
you eating? Whatever. But then there's also a menstrual cycle. Like, have you got symptoms? And then you can rank your symptoms. And then basically if you like rank highly overall, they'll come and speak to you and maybe adapt your training day.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of bad symptoms, it's like good for awareness.
Yeah.
Bears are doing it well, I think.
Yeah.
It's very much spoken about. It's not a taboo subject.
Fine. I mean, which is the most important thing, right? Okay. Good stuff. And like your experience with concussion has resulted in you being involved with the concussion toolkit. Girls that, were at Bristol Uni, were they mates at uni?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of them.
Pippi and...
I went to school like nearby.
Oh, really? Okay.
Play against each other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a brand ambassador there?
Yes. So when they were kind of developing this project as their final year project at uni, they spoke to me, and obviously fresh off my concussions, I helped with some of their research and obviously spoke about different symptoms and the blue light and how I found returning to learning, which is one of their things. There's obviously a lot of protocols on returning to play now.
Yeah.
But actually returning to learn was a really different element that a lot of students, whether at university or at school, I think is really interesting. As well, there's a lot of gender differences, like recovery from concussion, and we looked into that a bit. So they've got a really cool project, and brand ambassador for them. So help promote them. They come and deliver education sessions at the university. They came to like speak to our club captains and our coaches at the beginning of the year, and they've got a toolkit available for students at university to access. When they're concussed. So really cool.
No, it's a really cool project they're working on, and I've spoken with them a couple of times, and we talked about collaborating, and hopefully that does happen down the line, particularly on education, which I think is massively important. Like, not just at university, like we're more focused on schools than we are university and clubs, but the number one thing that comes up, like we're a tech company, like tech enabled like medical service, but like education comes up time and time again. And like teachers always want to be like upskilled and have more knowledge on what to be looking out for, like how to not manage, but like, know what recovery should look like so that they can have proper conversations with parents and that kind of thing. So I can see how there would be a big gap at university where it's, there's not that same pastoral element, right? Whereas at school, it's very clear that teachers are responsible for kids. Whereas at university, you're then adults and you have like part-time coaches or whatever else. So you got to look after your mates and you got to look after yourself. And I think, what they've done around providing like accessibility to those protocols and that kind of thing through documentation is really, really useful, because it does exist, but you need to know where to find it, or you need to know that it exists in the first place, unless somebody's handed it out to you. So like, it might sound like simple, but like that's, I think, hugely, hugely important work. So I'm pleased you're involved with them. Pleased that it's going well.
Yeah. And it's something I've grown to be a bit more passionate about the last few years, having like, I think you don't really understand the effects that concussion have unless you have it.
Totally.
You can kind of research it as much as you want, but because everyone's is so different. Like, I mean, the two that I had back to back were completely different symptoms, which
were they?
Is crazy, and they were 3 weeks apart. So
what were the other symptoms?
I keep getting this head spinning thing, where
like vertigo or.
Yeah, it's not vertigo. It's like my head stays still, but inside it just like suddenly turns completely randomly. Don't know what causes it.
As in that's the sensation?
Sensation.
Oh, my word.
But I'd be standing up or lying down or...
To anyone that's looking at you, nothing's happening.
In conversation, it happened and I'd be like, oh my God, did you just see that? And they'd be like, see what? But
really?
My head's just gone. And that's the symptom that keeps coming back for me now, which is really weird.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. And I want, like, it happened when I was away on holiday. Like, I hadn't played rugby for 2 months and it was still happening. So, yeah, it's quite scary when it happens. And that's something I want to try and get to the bottom of for sure.
Any correlation with sort of how fresh you're feeling, how sleep deprived you might be, how stressed you are?
Yeah.
With uptick in symptoms?
Stress. I mean, the more it happens, the more stressed I get.
Of course, right. Yeah, right.
But yeah, stress or...
Chicken and egg.
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
I think does help, but there's no one thing that sets it off. It's just so random, which is the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I need to get to the bottom of that. It's scary stuff. In terms of schools, I know you left school a while ago at this point, but I think you were at an all-girls school. Was there much talk about concussion? I mean, rugby wasn't played at school, right? So I think this is one of the things that we're starting to see, the more conversations we have with girls' schools and some of this new research that's coming out. Like, unfortunately, girls are also more susceptible, dropping your phone. Girls are more susceptible to concussion and have more persistent and severe symptoms, and I think like there is still a perception out there that this is a rugby problem or this is like a really obvious contact sports problem, and it's not always the case. Like, we're hearing about girls getting concussed from netball, from football, soccer, if you're American, that's increasingly being played. I don't know, like, do you think there is still a little bit of an awareness issue?
I think, yeah, it's definitely an awareness education piece. I think when I was at school, I was educated from rugby about concussions rather than at school.
Yeah.
And I think I was always aware of it, like, just because I've had to think about it a bit more. So I'd like check on my friends a bit more.
Yes.
And when I talked to staff, they'd be like, "Oh, okay," but it was a bit less proactive.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think it's gotten better now. I haven't spoken to them about it specifically recently, but I think it is definitely something that people overlook quite a lot, and it is such an important issue. And lacrosse, I mean, you get balls to the head all the time.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Because people kept getting hit in the face. So yeah.
It's a relatively hard ball, right? Lacrosse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bit sketchy sometimes. So I was always on the lookout for it.
Good. Okay. You had a medical role as well as an athlete role at school. Cool. Okay. Amazing. Well, say hi to the Concussion Toolkit guys when you next see them. And I hope that we do something together one day. Ella, it's been awesome having you on the pod. Really appreciate you coming and chatting and going here, there and everywhere. Best of luck in your SU capacity next. Do you have like a summer off now? How does it work?
No, we
you just keep working. It's like a normal job.
For the new officers coming in.
Fine.
But then, kind of planning ahead for the next year. It's a lot quieter on campus, for sure.
And rugby, when does that start up again?
We just finished pre-season.
Oh, wow. Pre-season.
Yeah, basically just gym and conditioning. Just sitting there.
Okay.
Pre-season starts July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is pre-season brutal?
I mean, probably not worse than pre-season. But yeah, it's pretty tiring. It's a big development, like physical block, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, no, thank you so much. A couple of closing questions, if that's all right. Just going back to, there being a girl with your name on the back, like, clearly you're now a role model, you're inspiring the next generation. Is there a book, a film, something that inspires you, something that you go back to again and again, that you go to for motivation? Might not be.
God, I don't think I have a book or a film, really. I think just look to the people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family is so supportive. And to be honest, I look at the photo of that little girl with the book.
Yeah.
With my name on her shirt. That like kind of reminds me, that's also why I'm doing it. Like, you never know who could be looking up to you.
Totally.
So just being a role model for anyone, even if could be people like same age as you, older than you. So yeah, that's probably what I'd say. Yeah, it's cool how that makes it so real. And then final thing, any favourite quotes or mantras that you live by? I like the one, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Yeah. That kind of resonates a bit. Yeah, that's very cool. Talent is necessary but not sufficient. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Awesome. Well, Ella, thank you so much. Been cool. Thank you. Cheers. That was the Luca Health Podcast. If you enjoyed the conversation, subscribe for more content like this. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.